just come around and sniff me and then let me go.
Yeah.
So I ran and I jumped over something, and the dog jumped over something. So it was still following me, even though I had jumped over something.
Dogs the worst thing you can do is run away from a dog. Its natural instinct is to chase anything that's running away.
So it was chasing me into like, and then I ran into this other person's backyard, and at this time I had like crazy adrenaline, and I had set it up so when the dog had came in, I turned around and I grabbed the fence and I slammed it as hard as I could right when the dog came, so the dog hit the fence, and then I took that opportunity to run because the dog was like, it hit its fucking nose and it was confused. But that was probably the scariest fucking situation I've ever been in. I can't really, like vividly, I've never really been in a truly like terrifying situation like that, except like that. Like I thought I was going to die. Stamper, do you have any?
I was trying to think, but there was one time it was really just me and fucking stupidity. When I was younger, I was every weekend I used to race, and
what would you race?
just fucking broken Fast and the Furious style.
Yeah.
And we used to be really into like tuning up our cars and shit like that.
I wasn't sure if it was like some kind of like back alley sprint race where you're like you all got your shorts on, you're like it's
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this was back when I was more than familiar with the back of a police car, but there was this one time right after we were done racing. I guess we weren't done yet, so you start with like 100 people, and then eventually you get to the cops break you up, and then you split into like 50,
yeah,
and then you get broken up again, you split into like 25, and then the end of the night came around, and we were still kind of like we still wanted to fuck around, and there's a guy there. He's like, oh, let's do one last race, and I was like, all right, so I want to like really go for it. And my friend Bob was in the car. And we took off. It was kind of like we're going to do the race and just wave each other and then go our own ways, like whatever. And then there was an off-ramp that actually went up into a bridge, into an overhang. And we whipped around the corner, and he beat me, but I was really frustrated. And it had rained earlier. Yeah. So when he whipped around the corner, I just kept going straight. And I flew off a bridge. And it was so weird because everything went silent.
Yeah.
And like Bob went silent, and there was like no noise anymore. Yeah. I was convinced that we were gonna die.
Yeah.
Because we fell so high, I could have landed from so high, I could have landed on top of a McDonald's. That's how high I fell. And what was really fucked up is when I landed in the middle of a 4 or 6 lane highway, right in the middle of it, and I just spun down it. For fucking forever. And if it wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning, I would have landed on traffic and killed everybody.
Directly in the line of traffic.
Yeah, that was awful. That's how fucking stupid and reckless I was. And when I landed, I shattered my axles and all my rims. My car was fucking destroyed. Thankfully, I landed flat. Like that.
Yeah.
Instead of going forward.
And then fucking like rolling like a domino.
Yeah.
Were you wearing seatbelts?
I'm pretty sure I was wearing a seatbelt. I had to have been because it's so fucking jarring.
It is interesting, like in those moments though, when like, because I almost hit a car once too, and what happened was we were going down the freeway, and it was very icy, but you could just tell, like the two people in front of me, we're all going like maybe like 50 miles an hour on the freeway because it was icy, so everyone was going slow, but you could see like one of the cars was just not quite with it. They were going back and forth just a little bit, and then clearly they tried to overcompensate or something, and you could see it was almost slow motion. They went wide, and then they came right back in, and they T-boned the car right in front of me.
Yeah.
And then I had to drive. There's some choices you make. If you put on the emergency brake, there's a good chance you're going to spin out and fucking run into it. Yeah. So I just kind of waited as we're going. I mean, it all happened within a matter of seconds. I mean, we're going 50 miles an hour. It's not 100, but it's still fast enough. And
by the time the reaction kicks in, it's already too late. Yeah.
And so as soon as I saw that, the only thing I could think was, as soon as he T-boned him, he started backing up, and I was like, please clear this. Please clear this. Because when he hit him, he went back a little bit, and so there was just a little gap, and I just went straight right through it. Right through it. No, I didn't speed through it. I literally, at the same pace, without tapping on the brake, just went whoop, right through that. But in that moment, it was dead silence in the car. There was no like, oh shit, did you see? Oh fuck, dude, just
movies get it right. It's just whoop, and it's just like dump bump.
Yep, and nobody says anything because you're in your head. You're in that moment. You're just like you're holding your breath, and you're not gonna say it. And as soon as you pass through it, you're like, oh shit, oh my god, I can't believe that. Yeah.
Did you stop after you went off the thing? Did that knock some sense into you?
Yeah, after I did that, well, no.
Yeah.
What knocked sense into me was like after all my friends were like fucking, we were like really reckless. Every last one of my friends totaled their cars, and it was like weird. There was like this thing that happened where we thought we were cursed because my friend Mark totaled his car. He totaled it. And then the next weekend or the weekend after that, Mark was in the car with my friend John.
Yeah.
And we just installed the short shifter. And then John totaled his car with Mark inside.
This is like the PG-13 version of Race.
Yeah, I guess. And then after John totaled his car, he was in the car with Aaron. And then we're following Aaron. I get around the bend, and he barrel rolled down the road. And the first thing I saw was him crawling out of their back window through glass.
Jeez.
So it was just a cycle of whoever lost their car last
Yeah.
was in the car they got. And I was like, fuck that, I'm moving to Florida.
I guess if we're talking about like car things, because I was in like a car situation like that, but I've never actually been in a situation where it's like I was like I'm gonna die, but maybe.
I was convinced that we were going to fucking die. As a matter of fact, after we hit and we came to a stop, I was just kind of rolling off to the side of the road, and we just sat there for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we didn't say fucking anything.
It was
That was your final destination.
No,
by the way. We're gonna a fucking ladder is gonna drop off of a fucking building fire escape and crush your head.
I remember he was like, stop the fucking car. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's wrong, but we're just rolling.
So we had just went to Hardee's and ordered like a big like we have like these like huge like sandwich burgers with like fries and stuff, and we were eating it, and it was snowing out obviously, and there was no cars because it's snowing, and we needed to get to a destination, so we were like, I guess we're gonna eat Hardee's first before we get there. I think it was like a concert we were supposed to go to, and we slept on the black ice, and like when your car's like like losing control on the road, it's the scariest fucking thing. And the car was spinning, and it's funny too because you know in movies whenever it's like slow motion we're shit, but we were holding the burgers and the fucking like shit was flying everywhere, like hitting the windows, like ketchup and mustard was splashing on everything, and when it was all over, the fucking car just smelled like Hardee's, and it was just like...
It smells yummy.
Yeah, it was just like...
I've been at Hardee's in a long time.
Yeah, Hardee's is good. It's also called Carl's Jr., right? That's the other name for it?
They used to have good-ass milkshakes there.
Yeah, their whole motto is like, if the burger isn't messy, it's not a good burger or something.
What's funny too is there's like one friend I had, Andrew, and anytime I rode in his car, I swear, we crashed like 3 fucking times when I rode in a car with him, and he thought it was me. Like he thought
you were cursed.
You fucking jinxed me because the first time we got
driving.
Yeah.
I'm at Sam's Club, and he was pulling out of Sam's Club, and he hit a car, and that was the first time. It was like it was a light hit. The second time, we went to this place that was like this old like 80s diner that was abandoned, and we were driving around drunk, and he was like, I'm gonna order some food, and he fucking pulled up, and he hit a fucking street light, and we went up the fucking street light, the cords and shit, and it was like this whiplash of blue and green colors, and then all the fucking lights in the entire neighborhood went out, and we were like, oh holy shit. And then he pulled the car in, and he parked it, and he looked like he had just seen a ghost, and he went to the house, and then the cops pulled up and immediately knew it was him for some reason. So after that, he was like terrified. He's like, you're a fucking jinx. He's like, you caused me to crash car. And I'm like, dude, the first time was this bitch that wasn't even paying attention. The second time was you trying to order food at 3 in the morning at a place that didn't have a fucking drive-through. So it's like, don't say shit to me. And then we got in an accident again, but this time he was completely parked. Yeah, this is where it's really funny. He was talking about how I was a fucking jinx.
Yeah.
And he's like, anytime I'm in a car with you, we get hit. And I swear to fucking God, like 5 minutes later, a car nicked the back of his car while he was driving, and he fucking like span out.
Yeah.
And like, so he got hit while he was telling me that I'm a fucking jinx until like getting in a car accident. So he got like 3 times.
So he was right, basically. You are fucking jinx. Don't ever drive in my car like that.
But
Stamper and I almost fucking died the other day. But I tried to laugh it off, but it was a pretty close call. We were just driving down to the intersection, and I forgot there was a stoplight there, and I was about to keep going, but it was a red light, and Stamper's like, whoa, there's a red light, and I went about 3 feet over the actual crosswalk, and then a fucking bus just went right by the front of the car. Yeah.
Zach, do you remember that time I pulled you out from underneath the train?
You want to tell them what really happened, Chris? You fucking weirdo.
What's up?
Wait, is this like the lake monster?
Hold me
that
out
tried to rape you?
underneath the bus.
This is what happened. Me and Zach were at a convention, and he walked onto the road, and I grabbed him with my big monkey arm and threw him onto the sidewalk, and a train went by and almost killed him.
Here's what really happened. Chris was walking the sidewalk.
You saved
I was
your life.
walking.
Then a plane crashed into the road, but
Yeah, Chris was walking. I was walking on the road. Chris was walking the sidewalk. Chris was like, "Hey, get up the train tracks." I was like, "Oh," and I got up and like about 10 seconds.
not true.
10
I
seconds
grabbed you. I did pull you off.
seconds later,
I
train
did
came
pull
on.
you out of the way.
Chris karate kicked the train
Yeah,
as it was coming towards you.
You wouldn't have remembered that if I hadn't have like grabbed you. You would have been dead.
Pulled me up from under a train.
Exactly, were helpless. You were just like,
I don't know why, but when you were talking about cars, made me think. I don't know. Maybe you can cut it out, but it's just something small. I remember it's stupid what kids do. You know, when you're younger, when you're a teen. Like when I was like in middle school, my friend and I used to do this thing. It's not even fun, but it was like, "Hey, we go flip off cars today. We'd go flip off cars."
I love doing
And we
that.
would just go to this big hill that had like a back where you could hide behind, and we'd run up to the car. We're cooking, but you'd go up like a one foot from the window, and be like, "Fuck you!" Flip them off. And if they stop, you'd run behind the hill, and they'd think you went away. It was so stupid. But we did it like every day. It's like, "Want to just go flip off cars?" We did it for like 4 hours.
That's
and just
what
go
we used
home.
to do, like, to
so
and from-
fucking stupid.
I used to do that to and from school every day on the bus.
I remember we used to do prank calls, but we didn't know about Star 69. So I remember one time we called the bagel place. We found we had like a phone book,
Yeah.
and we called the bagel place. So I was like, how big are the bagel holes? He was like, why? And I was like, 'cause I want to fuck them. And I hung up and I laughed, and he called back and he was like, I have your phone number. And I got so freaked out.
For like the next week,
I was
every
like,
time
oh
your
no,
phone-
he's gonna tell my mom I want to fuck a bagel.
Yeah, that's right. And every time your phone rang for like the next week, you were like,
I
"Fuck, it's so
unplugged the
scary."
phone,
It was gonna
yeah,
That was
go
the
down.
real scariest story.
Yeah, it was.
You know what's weird though? When
Bagel
you're,
guy haunting me.
when you're a kid, like you're genuinely worried that if you called back, you'd be busted.
Yeah.
But nowadays, if I called up a bagel place and said, "Yeah, I want to fuck the holes in the bagel," and then he calls back, says, "You know, I have
Nice
your fucking
phone
number,"
number.
and then like I was at any risk, like I'm smarter now. I could just be like, "That wasn't me. I never called that guy."
Yeah.
Like you don't think to do that when you're a kid.
Right.
Like, I didn't do. Like I don't.
You immediately assume blame.
Yeah, totally.
Or if you're an adult, he calls back, you'd be like, yeah, I do.
But it's like-
bagel
It's,
hole.
it's not like they can get you in trouble. It's not like they can call up the police and be like, "This guy pranked me." Those
Unless you
like
frankly
idiots.
said, "I'm gonna murder you and your family."
If I was a cop and they turned that story and like he said something about fucking the bagels, I'd laugh. It's like me. I'd be like, "That's genius. I'm doing that."
Chris and I, you know, it's a really effective prank call. It's so simple. Chris and I used to do this for hours and hours and hours. It's such a simple call up like a 7-Eleven where an Indian guy works there and say you fucked his wife. For some reason that pisses Indian guys off. They'll go, "Fuck you, motherfucker!" You get people walking in the background like the dings at the stores and stuff. You get your customers, they scream at
It's
you.
probably because it was the 20th time you guys called the
No,
same
different
dude. and
ones.
he's so fucking
Different
stupid.
ones.
it's different ones.
Anyone, any single one.
They'll always
Truth-
like give a reaction.
Truthfully, most people would get mad at that.
I just
Yeah.
No, but like these guys get furious, and like we have a recording of like this one guy was like, "Hello," it's like, "Yeah, how much did your wife like fuck?" And he was just like, "Hey, fuck you, motherfucker," and then you can hear like the bell going, ding, ding, ding. See him people coming in the store. He's like, "Oh, yeah, fuck, I fuck your sister." It's like,
Did you call him and he's like, "Hello, this is the police."
yeah, we called him back. No,
I forgot about that.
but the first time it was like, hey, how much did your wife fuck? I need to fuck tonight. And he was just like, what? But the second time I was like, I need to fuck your wife. And he was just like, what? He got, it was like,
No, but we fucking called back and he was like, "Yes, this is the police." And we're like, "You're not calling anybody, you fucking idiot." Who the fuck are you trying to put?
Hey, at least he was a good sport about it. If I ever got pranked called,
Under arrest.
yeah, I feel like,
Dude,
I would like to kind
Oh
of
my
laugh
God.
at it and appreciate it a little bit.
I remember you guys prank phone called this one guy who was like this like mom and pop like pizza place.
so Zach.
Zach,
Which was it?
You called this place and you said your food is fucking shit.
No, this wasn't even the prank. This was like, this wasn't even the prank call. This was me being a dick. I called, like, I remember what it was. I've never, this is the last like really mean.
This is why I don't prank phone calls.
No.
Because I have a conscience and I'm
I
like,
called.
no,
I think the best
someone's
people to
dead.
irritate are people who can't speak English very well. Because for some reason, the countries they grew up in, they're like fuck. They had no problem saying fuck you to somebody they don't know in other countries. But they come here. But I called a Chinese place, and I was like, yeah, no, I wasn't like your food
No,
sucks.
it
I
wasn't
was like,
Chinese. It
I
was like Taiwan. It was like
no,
a small.
No,
like,
I think it was
I
Chinese.
remember how
It was
sad
Chinese.
you were.
No. It was Chinese. And I didn't say. I wasn't like your food sucks. I was like, yeah, I felt like a dead beetle in my food.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh. And then she gave. They put the guy on. And he was like, yes, sir. He had an accent, but he was like, yeah, I run this place. I'm so sorry if you had bad service. And I was like, Well, no, it was a beetle, man. It was fine. He's like, no, please come in. I'll give you free food. I work very hard. I work every day and night. And I was like, I hope. And for 10 minutes, I was like, And I go back and I was like, look, I was like,
just don't do it again.
Yeah, no, I go back and I was like, I'm sorry, man. He invited me to eat a beetle. It's goodbye. And I felt like such I stopped. I think that was the last prank call I did because I felt like
Because you
such.
have a heart.
Dude.
But it was weird because I called one place and I was like, yeah, we're at the health inspectors. I found a cockroach in my hot dog and he was like, yes, that is supposed to happen. What? He was so unconcerned. I was like, whatever, man. But you can get some funny fucking prank calls by calling like, they just don't give a shit. They'll scream at you and say they're gonna fuck your sister. They have no problem with it.
This is why I don't do prank phone calls. First of all, I don't have like the audacity to sit there and call up people and ruin their fucking day because I can't do it. I feel so bad. You know, you go online.
I'm on that. Yeah,
Yeah, you
I'm the
go-
same.
I don't do it now because
Yeah.
When was the last time any of his prank calls?
You go-
anymore?
Oh, I say 3.
It's
When I
funny
was like
too, because,
11.
It can be funny sometimes.
It's funny too because like you get these people who are kind of, you know, they're a little socially awkward and you come into a Skype call with them, they're like, hey, we're gonna do prank phone calls, and I'm like, all right, I'm leaving because I don't want to be a part of it. I feel bad. You know, you want to know something? Just to show you just how much of horrible people we were. In our fucking group, our group,
The old group.
prank phone call almost every single fucking day, and they had no remorse and they would always laugh.
We used to do that.
But it's just like you do it, but it's like you laugh at like these Ventrilo people who are playing games and stuff. It's like that's funny, but then
Yeah.
when you're like ruining people's day,
Yeah,
like,
you know, I used to find
They're usually harmless.
I used to find those Ventrilo harassment videos funny.
That's what I'm
Some
saying.
were still kind of hard,
But
then
here's the thing: you're
I think it's the only
bothering
get.
people while they're playing games. That's
Yeah, a lot of those
it's games. Like, they
guys
can stop playing
who
anytime.
work a shitty job and they come back and they want to
Yeah, but-
relax and play a game.
Yeah,
Work.
exactly. But when you call people up who are working
Yeah.
in like a mom and pop place, I couldn't do it. I don't understand how people can do it. I have to give mad props.
No,
to
because
people
when you
who can do it.
when you can hear like the uncomfortableness or like the awkwardness of the people receiving the calls, that to me makes me cringe so hard sometimes that it's just like hard to
Dude,
stay
when
on
Zach
board.
called that guy and said he found like a cockroach, I was sitting there and my fucking like gut, I felt so bad. I'm like, I told Zach, I'm like, Zach, you need to fucking apologize. That's fucked up.
It sounds like he did.
He did, because Zach was like, his fucking face was completely white. Like he had just like witnessed the murder. He was just like, he didn't know what to say. He was just
Yeah.
like, I need to apologize. He was like, so, like fucking.
That means you guys are nice people, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, and like I was the same way. Like when my friends would call up people in Pizza Hut and order all this food, he's like, he like looked up a random number, and I'm like, dude, you just sent a bunch of fucking shit to someone's
Well,
house.
that's just malicious, I think.
It's like you're a fucking piece
Look,
of shit.
I think, like, obviously we don't. We used to Chris and I did it on a regular basis. Like, we lived there like 3 years.
They were
but-
harmless,
No,
though.
harmless. Yeah, it was like calling up an Indian guy who was like at 9 p.m. when he's working, and always be like, fuck your wife, and he's
it's
furious.
different. I feel like it's
He
kinda
probably went home and beat the shit out of his.
I think that's why it was kind of funny because some of these guys must have been like, "What the fuck did you do?" Just getting strangled their fucking wife and gouge their eyes out.
Why is it the funny part?
I feel like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like a kid who wants to see what a stove is has to be burned to learn not to
Yeah.
touch it when it's hot.
Oh
Speaking
no!
of-
It took one phone call for me to go.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
the stupidest thing I ever fucking did. I already kind of touched on the prank where I TP'd a house and found out that the dad was in a hospital with cancer.
I don't think you told that.
God.
I
told
did
that.
another thing, and
That's
that was the last time
horrible.
I ever TP'd a fucking house. Because imagining the two daughters and the mom out there picking up styrofoam peanuts out of their lawn and TP out of their things, and
Nick,
the dad was in the fucking
Nick,
hospital.
I can one up you more.
Did he
I
live?
can one up you
No,
more.
he died. What's that?
You killed him.
I
I
can
did not fucking kill him.
I can one up you more, and not a bad way, and in a bad way.
Okay.
So
You should have taken his cancer bandages and then cancer
Yeah,
bandages. to
throw
the
it
house.
away.
these people,
You asshole.
these people actually, these people like.
Good lord.
Well, there's this one teacher. We found out later she had vaginal cancer. So she
that's
died
right.
like not too long after. But like they
Is
had
vaginal cancer a thing or like
Yes.
ovarian cancer?
ovarian
It's
cancer.
not called vaginal cancer.
I
Whatever.
got cancer in my vagina.
You got pussy too.
I bet you could though, but anyways.
It's like saying penis cancer.
Well, it's whatever. It's like pussy cancer. That's what we
actually my
used to
dick.
call it.
Oh, pussy cancer.
Yeah, we used to call it pussy cancer.
I'm down.
But it was kind of like the same thing. Like they went to their house and they like pulled up her flowers that she had spent like years doing and stuff, and then they just like fucking like ruined her yard one day. And she was like depressed in school, and then like weeks later she fucking died.
You guys are evil people.
Why'd you pull up a
I didn't do it, dude.
What the hell?
I didn't. This is what I did. I
a
told.
metaphor.
This is what happened.
Yeah, she pushed daisies now.
No,
for
this
me.
is what this is what happened. Like I told my friends, I'm like, cause she gave me my first detention. I'm like, this bitch gave me my detention, and then they were like bringing up all these things like she's a fucking cunt, and then they went out and did this stuff. Well, I started it because I was like, she
So
gave me
you
my
ordered, you
first-
ordered it. You ordered it.
Yeah,
I ordered it.
You're the mob boss. You're like, go take care of it.
I feel like back then, though, it's like the animosity that you had for things was so extreme.
And it's also there's
always
a
such big
disconnect.
Fucking deal.
There's
yeah.
a disconnect too. You don't really honestly realize
You never- it's
other
a secret.
people are
Their
you.
lives are like. what's
Yeah,
going
no,
on in
like you
theirs.
really don't start
All the
to.
way through school, I never actually saw a teacher as a person until
No, they were just.
No, and now you go, oh god,
Yeah.
like
They
it's
probably
such a-
hated their lives and
Yeah, and
they
you're
were
like,
being
oh.
shit on all day by the kid.
I think people are pieces of shit until they're like 25.
So
That's not an excuse, but I mean, like, I think you have to like have enough bad shit happen to you where you're like, oh,
I got a year left.
yeah.
the dumbest thing that I ever did, though, my friend Matt and I, we did this thing where we started daring each other to do shit. They weren't pranks where we would hurt other people, but they were just stupid things. He went to London, he went to RADA, and while he was in London, did stupid things like breaking a fluorescent light in a on a escalator. In London, they have those really long escalators,
Right.
so he'd go down and up one, just stupid shit like that. So we ended up daring each other back and forth to do things, and it got to the point where we would dare each other for like beers or food or whatever.
Okay.
So we were at the subway and we were already drunk, and a girl who had been visiting me from Washington, who I liked at the time, was there as well. And so I don't know if I was trying to impress her, or I was just drunk, or just being stupid like I was. But we had a dare where there was also a cop on the platform at the end of the platform. And I was supposed to jump in the train tracks as a train was coming, but you could see it all the way down at the other station. It is way far down the station. You have plenty of time. But I was supposed to jump in the train tracks, do a dance, say Ooga Chaka Laga Chaka NYPD, and then jump right back out. That was the whole thing. That was what I was supposed to do.
You're a faggot.
But I was
dude.
wearing, and I was doing it for a beer. So I was wearing Birkenstock at the time, and it's in the summer, and shit was all fucking slippery and stuff. Now, I don't know if you know what the New York subways are like. Some of you guys do. But especially, like, in between the train tracks, there's, like, these big garbage puddles, like this
Yeah.
gooey fucking shit with garbage in it, whatever. So I jump down. I slip because I'm wearing my Birkenstocks, roll my ankle, fall completely between both the tracks, my back, like I've literally got this goop all the, like halfway up my body, and I'm lying there, and I'm just fucking like stunned. Now my head is in a position where I can actually look back, and it's not like the train was like 10 feet away from my head, but I was looking up the track, so I could actually see the train was coming, and I'm lying on my back with a rolled ankle, both hands on the tracks, and I'm sitting there, and I could just hear Matt being like, dude, get the fuck out of there, get up here! Everybody on the platform, because it's like 3 in the morning, there's a lot of people there, and they're all fucking like, oh my god, is he okay, is he okay? And I try to like get up, and I'm like hobbling up, I've got my body like halfway up the platform. I was assuming I could just jump right out, but my ankle was fucking busted, so I'm sitting there trying to get like one leg up. All these people reach down their hands, they help me up, everyone's so concerned. The moment I get on the platform, first of all, the cop didn't see any of this, thank fucking God. But the moment I get on the platform, everyone goes from, oh my god, are you okay, to literally several people saying, fuck you, you fucking idiot. I guess some people actually saw what happened and shit. And people are just like scolding me. I smell like dirty fucking subway garbage. I rolled my ankle, which by the time we walked back to the house was like ballooning up. The girl that was there actually dumped me about 3 days after she went back to Washington. I'm assuming that was one of the main reasons. I never got that beer that night. He ended up coming later because he had to bring me crutches and stuff, and we
should've
drank up
just
on my
stayed on the
roof.
tracks.
I should just fucking ended it all right there. But that was like one of the dumbest things I've ever done, and I've rethought a lot of like dares and shit ever since. I mean, besides doing too many drugs and drinking too much, but as far as dares and putting my life in danger, I'm kind of done with that now.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thank you.
What time is it, dude?
One more question.
One more question. Here we go. This is from T87. I think this is a softball. This is a little lob. I think we can handle this one.
Yeah.
If Sleepy Cabin was a band,
Okay.
what genre would it be, and what instruments would everyone play?
Salsa.
Triangle.
What?
triangle.
You can't handle the triangle.
Triangle.
You can't handle that.
Well, hold on. What's the genre?
Salsa.
No, seriously. If we were to actually be like, guys, seriously, fuck all the podcasts, fuck all the animation, fuck everything.
fair,
We're gonna be a band.
It would be a video game rock band.
I think it would be like.
I think it'd be moody, gothic, symphonic.
You know what? Everyone disagrees.
Yeah,
This band
I
did
was
not
thinking
work.
it would
80s
be
rock,
ska
80s
pop.
rock.
It would be like a
80s rock or nothing.
Fine. It would have a mix of
I don't need to
80s
take
rock,
your-
hip hop and ska all at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be new wave prog rock.
It would sound like
Okay,
shit.
let's make one of our songs right now. Okay.
What would you play? You'd play trombone.
Trombone.
You'd play the piano.
Well, you
Chris.
assume I play the trombone.
Of course, because you're great at it.
Rap.
You would
Baby
rap.
vocals.
I blare my fucking trombone.
Triangle.
Zach,
You'd play the
sing.
triangle.
You'd sing.
No, I
Hey,
wouldn't.
if I'm rapping, that means I'm the lead man. Stamper in the Sleepy Cabin Gang.
Yeah, but you replace me.
So
Kill you.
if
You quit the
Do you know what we should
band.
do?
so all these disagreements are pointless because
What we should do?
you know,
Yeah.
We should remix popular YouTube videos. That'd be pretty cool.
With what's it called? Not the vocalizer? What the fuck is it called? Auto tune.
Yeah,
Right? Is that what it
auto-tune,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, auto tune.
What would you do? Would you sing?
That's the only thing I could do. I'm not good at anything else.
you'd be like that dude from the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones that just dances.
No, you see, you would rap and then I do
I
like
love
the
a
sing-
Mighty Mighty Boss
I
Tones
do the hooks. I do
live
the refrains,
performance.
but you're
You'll see what I'm
rapping.
talking about. Oh, okay.
Listen, Jake
You can hit
used to
your
have a
chest
guy
like a
Skull
drum
Guy or
set.
whatever.
You play drums with your tits.
I do
Like
that.
the worm.
We don't
He
have
was just a hype man. That's all.
Yeah.
Like he didn't play any instruments or sing or
He
anything.
just like put his hands down and get claps and do the worm. He's
and the
fucking-
dude from the Boss Tones wasn't even a good dancer. He's just like
an
running around the
asshole.
stage like a
What were they called
retard.
again? The Busy Boston?
Mighty Boss.
Mighty Boston.
You know, they did that Knock on Wood song.
Yeah.
But if you pull
How's
up
it
a
going?
live performance,
Do it.
you just see this guy. You know that. I've never had to knock on wood, but I've had that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope that that's exactly what it sounds like. And if it doesn't, we have to remake the song where you sing it just like that.
This guy sounds like
It's a good
the
song,
guy who
though,
sings sounds like a scruffy like deep voiced black guy, but he's actually like this really like nerdy looking white guy.
I thought Michael Jackson was a girl until I was like 12.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's what
thought
it
Michael
sounds
Jackson
like.
was a girl, and I thought Simply Red was a black woman, and Simply Red's actually some skinny little redheaded white dude.
That's
Yeah.
a gum brand too.
I always thought what's his name? Rick Astley.
He's a black dude, right?
Yeah.
I always thought he was a black guy. Yeah. And then I saw him, and he just looked like fucking Egon from Ghostbusters. Red hair. I was like, whoa, dude. Deep ass voice. I used to like getting Rickrolled. I love that song. That song's
That's-
catchy.
Every time I get listen to the whole song.
yeah.
Every time I was Rick Roll,
Like, gotcha, bitch. And it's like, nah, dude, you just did me a favor.
I'm looking for this song. Thanks, man.
Wait, I forgot what the question was.
What genre would you be?
That's a shitty question. You actually picked that question? Fuck him.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck me.
I have more diarrhea. Hold on.
Well, we just wrap it up.
Blurble it into the mic.
Ew. Blurble.
should we?
We got through a lot of these.
How long have you recorded for?
Yeah, let's end it. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
All right, so let's end it. How do we wrap this up?
You're hungry too.
How long have we gone for?
You want beer?
We've gone for about 2:30.
There's no way to get it now, though.
Oh,
Raw.
together?
2:30 raw.
That's only
With the two,
10
both of those?
Hey, though.
That's good.
Yeah. Or all three. This is the third.
places that are open on Sunday. 10.
You know the rules.
And so do I. Let's end with the Rick Astley song. You want to do it?
Okay.
Wait, I can play on trombone.
Oh yeah. Hold on. If you do it, you gotta
No,
stand
Corey,
back there
no.
because it's so fucking
No,
loud.
no, Corey, let's do it this way.
How does this go?
Corey, listen to me.
You do have to do it over there.
Corey,
Yeah,
sing,
you're gonna blast
Corey,
the mic.
sing it first, and then after that, you can play in the background. We can mix the two together.
We're no strangers to love.
Yeah.
You know the rules. It's tough to love.
Okay,
Yeah, that sounds great.
let's do it.
So what are we doing?
Sing that song, and then after that, Corey can play it over there. We can mix it together.
All right, hold on.
Okay, Chris, do it. Lead us in.
Yeah, you're gonna rickroll us, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. As the rules that I'm
Hey guys, thanks for joining the Sleepcast. Q&A question and answer episode 20. We're gonna see you guys soon. Kiss my butt.
understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna leave you cry. Never gonna say goodbye.
and then go
Sleepy
back.
cabin, we're out for
Good night.
I'm gonna go higher this time. 1, 2, ready, go.
May God sleep on your pillow. May he hold you in the hollow of his hand. May the roads ride with you, fair weather to your heels. May the wind be ever at your back. And may you be a long time in heaven before the devil knows you're God.
There is a world as tangible as our own, impossible to see yet unavoidable to sense. A world enveloped by a seemingly unending ocean of forests. Buried deep in that forest, tucked away neatly within a blanket of twilight, lies a quaint little cabin. And in that cabin
He's a bunch of guys. He's a bunch of bullshit.
Welcome, boys and girls, to the latest Sleepy Cast.
Hey!
Hey, here we've got your host, Stamper TV. Hey, there it is. Corey Spaz Kid. And Niall.
No.
Now, do you have another name? Is it like Cryburger?
Yeah, I gotta change that though. I don't want to promote any Cryburger shit because that is terrible.
It always makes
How'd you choose that name?
Yeah, I don't have a terrible.
How'd you choose it?
It's the same way you kind of choose your old ones because when I was younger, I just made like a
Oh,
trolling
was that like a
account.
French,
Trolling
like a,
account.
hey, have a cry burger and some French
No, there was no
wines?
there was no like
Mike bitching and moaning about
it's just something that popped in my head in like a second. I didn't even think about it. I just
My
wrote it down
trolling-
because it
I
was
don't
a trolling.
think it's the word. I don't think it's a bad.
I don't
my
like
trolling
it.
name.
I cringe.
Do
when
you know
I-
what my trolling name was? It was Chain Reaction.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Wait, you guys may have not known this, but Nick is half Chinese, half Irish, right?
Yeah.
Rice,
Yeah.
pirate.
Yeah.
Right, so Rice Chinese, pirate, steal software.
Nick. Well, no, not a
Why,
Somalian
hold on, why
pirate.
did you say Irish though?
Nick,
What did that have to
I
do
don't know,
with
but the
pirates?
pirate accent is kind of the
okay.
same as the
I
Irish.
suppose, yeah.
I don't know. Was that not intentional?
What was your trolling account name?
My trolling account?
Yeah.
I never made a troll account.
Are trolling accounts a thing?
Yeah, I made one when I was young. Like this was about 10 years ago.
That's when
Yeah,
you
this
sign
is-
up
this
for an
is-
extra account to fuck with people?
Yeah, I was 14 when I
have-
made
you
one.
have-
Be a man. If you want to fuck
Nobody-
with people,
I
do
was
so
14,
on the
Stamper.
account.
I was 14,
Stamper,
I'm scared.
anyone
Scared
born
little boy.
after anyone born in 1990 or later.
It's a 2000 thing. You wouldn't
Yeah,
get it.
exactly. If you were born in the 80s, you don't even know what the fucking shit. You wouldn't do it because guess what? When you have a problem with someone, you fucking walk right up to them, you look them dead in the eye, and you fucking say your problem.
Do you
don't
really
create some alternate account using some fake ass information so you can sit behind
Nick.
your little shield and throw potatoes at people.
Here's my
like-
Nile account on the side. You're a faggot. And then I go back.
I
and
got you.
And then I pay my power bill.
Yeah, and then you go home and you think about how awesome you burned somebody with a name they never even heard
That's
of. or
quite
care
accurate,
about.
except my mom paid my power bill for me. That's
While
She
people
had an
are
alt account too,
slamming
and
on
she
your
was like,
fucking door to steal your couch and fucking
that to do-
repo your shit.
No.
Because you're a horrible person.
Corey has a French background.
And you know, some French people are actually quite religious. Did you know that, Stamper?
I did, but I thought the Irish
I thought the world was religious.
world is, you know, for
Irish?
you know what is the percentage of people that are religious? Because I grew up thinking that a lot more people were atheists than.
I always felt like there was
I would say
kinda
most
like
people are religious.
Everybody is
That's
born.
weird to me.
Everyone's born into religion, and then you kind of like make your choices as you grow up, deciding if you want to stick with it or move on.
Except if you're from the Middle East, where if you try to decide to move on, you get your head.
Yeah, well, let's not talk
Get
about
beheaded.
that.
Irish people are primarily Catholic, right?
Well, yeah. Well, they all pretend they're Catholic, but no one's really religious. They all just say they are because they like go to mass and they all meet each other.
Go into that. Hold on. You said they pretend they are, so explain that more.
They don't really believe in God. Like you don't have the Bible beaters like you have here. You have the guys who just kind of go to church on Sundays
Thumpers.
just so the rest.
Bible thumpers.
Is that what it is called?
Yeah, not Bible beaters. We don't beat Bibles. They're not like.
Though I like
White
that
trash
better because of
wives.
the alliteration.
Yeah, it was
Bible
just
beater.
the alliteration kind of came out.
good to me.
Bible beater.
I think I said.
I mean,
easier to
realistically,
say.
Yeah, I think we
it's
should get
more-
rid of thumper and change it.
Actually, yeah, that's a good now because it's like you beat off to the Bible.
Yeah, there's
Bible
multiple
beatings.
meanings.
Bible beating.
Can't say that.
It's like a cake.
Bible beating.
Okay, first of all, if you were beating off to the Bible, God would welcome that. Everything else is off limits. He's like, hey, you're beating off to the passage I wrote?
2 thumbs up.
But in that same passage, it says,
God didn't write the Bible.
He screamed over a crowd of people. He's like, hey, write that shit in. Birds.
in that
Okay,
same,
put this down now.
in that same book, it says, "Thou shalt not spill thy seed upon thine ground."
It also says, thou shalt not.
It doesn't say thine Bible, though.
It also says, in the Bible,
That's a good point.
thou shall feed the babies to the crocodiles to appease the garden of youth.
What? What?
In what?
Is this something your
That's
mom
the first
told
Bible.
you?
That's the first Bible.
These are little Bible stories
That's
your
the
mom
first
tells you at
Bible.
night?
The first Bible. There is like 16 editions of the Bible.
Yeah. And the one that you're
How can
talking
you
about
be-
has the
how can
fucking
you believe in
crocodiles
it?
and the pitfall man.
How can you believe in a faith that has been altered throughout time?
In the Bible, there was a passage where it said,
Changes.
40 kids
Yep.
made fun of a bald man. A bald man, guys, making Stamper. And the God came down from the heavens, and he said he was pretty kind of ticked off at that, so he sent a big
He was a little riled up.
and he sent a big bear out to, and he slaughtered all the 40.
No, you're a fucking liar. There was.
That's a passage in the Bible. I
That is-
swear on the Holy Bible.
A big bear or a big bear?
No, big gay bear.
Big gay bear.
No. They sent
An
it.
actual.
He rode on his Harley, got off, and just slaughtered all the kids.
Now, was the bear successful? That's the question.
Yeah, no, he all 40 of those kids got fucked.
You know what I find
I
fascinating?
love fiction. It's great.
Do you know what I find fascinating with the whole Bible thing and people who like follow it? It's like the Bible is true. It's fact. It was written by the higher ups. It's
I don't
like,
think you'll ever meet somebody that says that the Bible is true.
no,
It's fact.
that's not true.
that's
not true.
There
A
are
lot of-
people- there are some people-
My mom
the extremists.
has actually converted, and she's like, I believe everything in the Bible is true, and I'm like,
I've never met anybody in my life that took the Bible as word.
Dude.
If anything, they push it to the back of their head and they believe
Tell
in
you
God.
something.
Yeah, but the Bible.
No, the Bible.
I feel like most people are like.
No, I think most people do. They take it with a grain of
However,
salt.
Take a
people
grain of
see
salt.
it, most people
exactly.
see it as a handbook on how to be a good person, but other people
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but other people look at it as being like the truth. It's like Adam and Eve really did talk to a spooky snake who ate the golden apple and brought.
You ever read those stories?
Wait, golden apple, spooky snake.
It's the same fucking thing. It's the same story.
Okay, so the new pope actually came out and said that the Bible is not supposed to be taken literally.
Refresh
It's
my
not
memory.
supposed to.
The new pope.
Pope
How many popes have we had?
Pope number 4.
Pope Paul Pope.
I think we have as many
full
popes as
pope.
we have like Super Bowls. So it's like Pope 40 or 50 right now.
Yeah.
Super popes.
Yeah, super
Joe, you tuning into the Super Pope?
Yeah.
Super Pope podcast with the Pope in the Vatican
You hear these
City.
guys?
Let's straight up their names too. It's like I'm Pope Double X.
Yeah.
You know? That's Pope 20.
Double XVI.
Yeah,
No,
that's
so this new
They don't
pope.
have popes that are the
new pope we got is
20s
sweet,
and 30s.
though.
What's the?
No, they have to be
No.
old men.
Yeah, you have to be like almost on your way out.
Dude,
that
the
can't
new
be a
pope-
prerequisite.
be-
What's the actual?
No, you have to meet a certain quota of kids.
You have to be born
that's
within a
that's kind of
timeline.
physically impossible.
Is it
in a
like
short-
Shaolin where you have to learn for a long time and the only way you could be a pope is if you're naturally like a million fucking years old because you went through it all?
So basically, what happens is the popes, like all the potential popes, they all get into a house. When one pope fucking croaks and dies.
like what if I loved God and Jesus so much but I'm like 30? I can't be a pope.
No, you got to be a bishop and work
So
your way
hold
up
on,
like the Game of Thrones.
all of the potential popes gather together.
They all go into a house and
I have to be so old that nobody would ever question me. Bingo!
No,
I get it,
it's
because
a-
you never fuck with old people.
yeah, 'cause you're just like, oh, he's an adorable old grandpa. Even though the last
Yeah.
one was like, I'm Pope Benedict. You look fucking
kind of like.
yeah. He's like,
I always thought that popes were kind of like it's like a big what do you call
Congregation.
it? Congregation.
Yeah.
Big congregation, like a big frat house.
So wait,
Oh, there's like lots of
big frat house.
All
They
the
wear
popes get
backwards
together.
caps that they bought at
No,
Lidl.
no. They do gospel
like
things.
Beta
Like,
Sigma Pope.
no, like Bob for apples and wine, and fucking like I don't know what other crazy like Christian parties. Like you see all these like. That's another thing too. Like in general, like you see Christians, how wacky Christians are, and anytime you see a Christian who's crazy, it's like this like really like socially awkward person who's trying to be hip. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I do. You hear
What do you think? What do you think a Christian like frat?
I'm gonna stop you right there and ask.
sponsored by ChristianMingle.com.
Is ChristianMingle.com actually?
That's a real thing. Yeah. There's also BlackPeopleMeet.com.
Okay, well that has nothing to do with religion.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so-
cool.
I know, but it's like a group of people.
It's like sick way out of
What were you
nowhere.
gonna
It's kind of racist.
But yeah, but there's a lot of like black sites that you can hook up with black like the black community.
You have to be black though, Semper. Sorry.
No, you don't, because black girls love white guys. So I'm in
Do
there.
they have like a black?
Oh, come on, poor black guys. Like,
Do they have like a blackandwhite.com? Like black girls looking.
Black guys got
that's
white
black-
girls.
Whatever, black guys like white girls.
Yeah.
that's blacks on black.
I'm not welcome. No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fucking racist.
Black guys like white girls. Black girls like white guys. Who likes black guys?
Black girls and white girls.
White girls like black
Fucking-
guys.
What I was saying was, I'm pretty sure that nobody in my direct life, you guys included, you're not religious anymore. But did you grow up religious?
Yes.
I grew up as a Catholic, but I didn't really care.
Me being raised, basically came down to me going to church. And I went to church, and my idea of church was, yes, I am going to have Oreo cookies and chocolate chip, what do you call those, like, those like Keebler Elf cookies?
Yeah.
Chocolate chip Keebler Elf cookies.
Fudge stripe cookies?
Yeah, fudge, all sorts of chocolate chip cookies while I watched VeggieTales. That was my idea of going to church. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to go to church. But I wasn't like that. I was like, freak yeah, I want to go to church. And then
You're still like that, though.
Cookies.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And then like you want to go experience real church? Like a priest comes down, you're like, yeah. Then you go upstairs, and they're like reading from fucking passages and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to read a book.
Where's
I
my
want the
cookies and VeggieTales?
Yeah, exactly. And then you like throw a hissy fit. You can't throw a hissy fit in like God's house. But after a while, like I started upgrading, and the older you got, you couldn't keep eating the cookies. They were changing them to crackers, and you're like, but where's my cookies?
Yeah.
So it was slowly changing over time to a point where it just changed where I wasn't getting cookies anymore. Instead, I was getting pamphlets from like a book and stuff. And I'm like, this is school. I don't want to go anymore.
They were giving you like Jesus
on Sunday.
scantrons and shit.
Yeah.
We had this.
We had to do coloring books instead of eat cookies about Jesus.
We had this priest called Father Hugh who kissed everyone's mom on the mouth.
Now, did you have? Yeah. I'm sure he was doing it for God.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Now,
Wouldn't let me talk to you about.
when you did Catholic communion,
Yeah.
did you ever do like Ash Wednesday? Or
Yeah.
when you did communion, did they give you wine or grape juice?
No, they didn't give a shit. They just gave us the bread.
Did you do communion?
Yeah, but when you do your communion,
You went up and bowed down, and they put a cracker on
yeah,
your tongue.
you're 8 years old. You go out and everyone's like, and they're all holding candles, and we're walking toward. Jesus, this sounds kind of creepy when you think back. But we all stand around the altar.
I know.
And then the priest is like, "And the power of Christ compels you." And then you're like, "Amen." Oh wait, no, that's the fucking. That's the Exorcist. No,
you
no,
would
he
have
says.
to, you would have to
No,
be
wait, he-
possessed at that point.
You're mixing your childhood up with the Exorcist.
He says no. He says the body of Christ is what he goes. The
We
body.
held down like a cross over your head.
It was the body of Christ, and some people choose to be to put their hands out like one hand under the other to get it, and some people I noticed a correlation between the people who stuck their tongues out and the people who end up being sluts later on. But some people stuck their tongue out and they accepted the bread in their mouth, like straight in their mouth.
Yeah.
And some people just took it on their hands.
And those who have sinned, the fucking cracker burned their tongue.
yeah, their head just fucking melts
So
off.
those
Like,
people-
No, their fucking
They
tongues
took it in
burned.
their hand versus taking it. This is actually kind of fascinating.
so you can
though.
pick which one you want to do, and when
If you
all the
wanted
kids
to
are.
sin, you put it in your
Do you
hand.
think the priest is up there like he's doing a panel at a convention? He's like, oh God, I hope
that
I don't
priest
get a
is-
whole lot of tongue people.
That priest is a rock star on Sundays, like. But we all stood around the altar, and we had sponsors like our aunties, our uncles, our parents, or whatever, brothers, sisters. And if they're of age, they get to. I think they get to sip the wine. But we don't. We just got the fucking
Get
cardboard.
some salty ass cardboard cracker. And they
Yeah.
don't give you anything to wash it down.
Yeah, no, they just gave us that, and we're like, yeah.
No, were you a tongue person or a hand person? What do you think?
He's an ass person. He's turned around and spread his cheeks.
I feel like you grabbed it and you fucking put it in your hand, and you're like,
No, I did that.
knows what I'm
But,
doing.
Put his tongue out and got the
But-
cracker on it, and then he used to wink at girls.
but
he's like, what do you mean? This is not true. It's just for impressions.
for what you do, you leave it on your tongue. If you chew, you're going to hell. If you open your mouth, you're going to hell. If you if you chew or open your mouth or talk or whatever when it's
What if
still
you
in your
cough?
mouth, you go to hell. You go to hell.
You can't cough. That is
No, you're going to hell. Straight to hell.
no.
So you better not have a cold.
God gave you
Dude,
your
you
body.
fucking after church, you went home and jerked off to bestiality porn. You're going to hell.
Exactly.
Make out you ate the fucking cracker.
Wasn't quite bestiality porn, but yeah, pretty much. Like I didn't care.
That's what I don't understand. It's like, well, let's be strict about things you can't do.
Yeah, everyone's so fucking good on Sunday, and then they go home and do the
that's
most
another thing
heinous
that
shit.
bothers me. It's like,
You know, I actually think that the danger in this whole, like, in the
a confession and whatnot, it almost seemed like the whole idea was that you could do anything and God could forgive you.
Yeah, you like.
So essentially, it was like all these people, they would do these terrible things, but at the end of the day, they knew that they could just go to confession and then say Hail Mary.
Did you guys go to confession?
Yeah.
So wait. So Mick, you grew up in.
I grew up in a Buddhist household, but my grandmother.
So Chinese.
No, but my grandmother was Christian, but I never knew because she would every single day like.
Yeah, but they don't have confessionals though.
No.
But Niall, you had confession booths.
So when you're 8 years old, you go and get your first communion. That's what I was talking about. And then when you were about 12, you have your first confession. And then you're like, everyone just goes.
That's mandatory.
Yes.
First confession?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you go.
I thought you did it when you were feeling bad.
So no. So you go. I'm sorry for punching my sister in the face. I'm sorry. Like that's the one that everyone had to say. Hitting my brothers and sisters.
Oh my God! It's like Netflix for priests.
kids
They're
do
just
this.
waiting for it. They're like, oh my.
Yeah.
I wanna hear something.
I'm gonna hear some juicy fucking gossip here.
Could you imagine, like, a little kid coming in?
Yeah. No, imagine having 30 kids going.
Yeah, like
I'm
a
sorry
kid
for punching my
coming in.
sister. I'm sorry
It's like I'm sorry for.
I'm sorry for raping my grandma or something.
Yeah, or something like it's like I'm sorry for sneaking looks at my mom's
little girl
pussy when
comes
she
in.
wasn't looking. And then the priest is just like he doesn't know what to think, and you're like, oh, there was that one time.
Oh, he knows what to
someone
think.
said-
Yeah,
He knows what to think.
He's fucking like,
whatever.
Yeah?
He's sighing a breath of fresh air. That was such
You're on your
something
fucking
new and
period
nice
and you-
for him.
They're not allowed to masturbate.
bad. That wasn't bad.
They're not allowed to masturbate, so their balls must be.
you don't fucking know that. It's a confessional.
No.
He could be like this, peered over with his fucking big schlong right now, dude.
Father, what's going on over
Doesn't
there? It's
matter.
like I'm beating my Bible.
Father's breathing over your fucking like confessional.
Thumping his Bible.
No, so basically,
You
like,
tell me I'm not allowed to masturbate, my friend?
there's also
Rule broken.
there's also a hypothesis.
What happens if a priest has a wet dream?
I'm sure. That's fine.
yeah.
I'm sure that's fine.
That's
He
a
wakes up
sin.
and he's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And
Yeah,
the
well,
God's
actually, no, that wouldn't be fine because that's lust in their head. That means lust exists.
Yeah,
in
no,
their
but
head.
your body.
Lust is a sin.
No, it's not lust either. It's dude, your balls get so full of fucking.
You're thinking
juice.
too scientifically, though. They don't think like that. They think that like there's lust in your brain. That you're trying to get.
You know,
it
if you
out.
don't jack off long enough, you can even start to like smell it coming out of your ball sack when you're like fucking
Yeah.
sweaty.
That
It
happens.
smells like cum coming out of your
I know,
nut sack.
it just like seeps through.
Yeah, dude.
They don't count
And then I
that.
have-
It needs to come out.
There's like variables. Like I have king size pillows on my bed, and they're like the
Yeah.
size of human bodies.
So like you naturally curl
So
up with those.
I try to fuck those, and
Oh, well,
I know what I'm doing.
I was gonna say cuddling, but so
you fuck them, then you cuddle them.
Fuckling. So basically,
All right, now
so two things.
the real question is, what was the sin you had to appease for?
the pillowcase is like a built-in condom.
I used to do that.
I thought I was. So I apologize for bringing a lighter into school because there was this little. I brought a lighter into school when I was like 8 or 9 because I thought it was cool.
And he's like, fucking boring.
I showed the
God?
I showed the class nerd.
Fucking confession.
I showed-
God's always like, fucking boy. Bring out the real freaks.
I showed the token class nerd called Daryl who talked like this, and I was like,
The priest is like,
I was like, Daryl.
get the fuck out of here.
I was like, Daryl, look at this. Look what I got here. Look what I got right here.
Fucking lighter, you fucking
It's a
nerd.
fucking lighter, Daryl. And he was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, look what I can do. And I like turn on the lighter, and he went straight to the teacher and goes, Niall brought a fire lighter into school. And then I was like, it's not even a fucking fire lighter, it's a goddamn lighter. And then like call my parents.
Wait, what's a fire lighter?
A fire lighter is like the fucking brick that you put in the fireplace where you fire. I don't know. Then you
Log?
Yeah. Then I went. No, it's like a
Bro, you got in trouble for bringing a log into school?
no, it was a lighter, but he said it was a fire lighter, and I was like, it's not a fucking.
Are you
fire.
talking about those big long sticks that you light?
No, they're like they're
Barbecue
kind of like brick-shaped coal, but they're like made of peat. I don't know if I'm being Irish here because this is a big Irish thing, probably.
Yeah,
You
dude.
get into more trouble than
you just
bringing-
said a brick. You just said a brick made of peat. That's pretty fucking Irish. We don't have a lot of those around here.
Yeah, they come from bogs.
Even more Irish.
So you get into more trouble for bringing in a brick made of peat than
No,
an actual lighter?
I brought the lighter in, but he said it was a fire lighter. I said, not a goddamn fucking fire. Oh, I was 8, so I thought
Yeah,
that
likely
I thought
story.
I thought I was a fucking like the baddest kid on earth. So I went in the my confession. I was like, I'm sorry for.
I remember saying "damn" when
sorry
I was
for-
in the 3rd grade. I was
sorry.
a god. True story.
Oh yeah, one time I was at my uncle's house and I was sleeping on the couch and then I pissed the cushion and then I was so embarrassed but I just flipped the cushion and then I passed back out and lo and behold I pissed it again.
Oh man, that happened
Hey
to me.
Mick, shut up.
So I went to the confession. I was like, yeah, I brought a lighter into school, expecting him to call the police. But no, he just like, yeah, that's all right. Say 4 Hail
Yeah,
Marys.
but again, when you're in school,
I was like, 4 Hail Marys? Man, I thought it was fucking bad, but I thought that was really earned at least 15 Hail Marys. But
So wait a minute.
Yeah, even when I used like a swear word in school, I was just like, oh god, they're gonna fucking call the cops on me. Like, you
Oh
just
my
like,
god,
yeah.
I was the same way.
Everything's the biggest deal for sure.
It's like when I first watched. Okay, when I
Now I would put my finger in somebody's face and say "fuck you" and go home and sleep like a baby.
what's the chart like? How does it?
Fuck you.
How does it?
the priest pulled it out of his ass.
No, how does it ramp as far as the Hail Marys go?
you shoot somebody, 25 Hail Marys.
But you,
If you kill somebody,
yeah. How
That's like 40
I'll
Hail
pull my
Marys.
ass out.
Yeah, that's like 10 Hail Marys.
10?
Yeah.
what if you gang
She
bang a
gets like
bunch of
one.
popes?
Gangbang a bunch of popes. Well, it's considering that a pope has to like die before a new pope gets appointed.
A bunch of potential popes. You gang bang a bunch of nuns.
So
What
you go into
happens?
the house that I was talking about earlier.
What's the max? Where's the cutoff as far as Hail Marys?
How about
Is there a
eating
point
somebody?
where Hail Marys won't save you?
Right.
Well, if he says infinite Hail Marys, you'll never reach it.
But
He
would they
would
ever-
actually say infinite Hail Marys.
No, but probably. I don't
Maybe
know.
if he was drunk.
Maybe. But anyway, so
Can a priest ever tell you in confession that there is not enough Hail Marys for you to save your soul? And if they're not allowed to say that, what do you think the max is on Hail Marys?
I'd be like, yo, speak for yourself. Like, you're so fucking good. What did you do this morning? I know you did something, priest.
That is your real name.
I know you're on fucking priesthub.com looking at
You went on Nuns Are Hot.
So basically,
looking up nun. He's like
He's like an old man, so he like types in naked nuns and like nun vaginas.
yeah, like literally, he's like vaginal sex.
close up vagina. Close vagina.
What is Mary
Vagina
saying?
close up, and he's like all bashful and he blushes.
No,
Miley
he has like a
Cyrus
doctor.
vagina.
He has like a doctor like appointed like picture, and he's just like, sorry.
No,
She's doing stuff.
Wait, what's Mary's name? Full name? Mary Joseph?
Virgin Mary.
Virgin Mary?
Mary Joseph.
Mary.
Do you think anyone's jerked?
If that was after she got married to
There's
Joseph.
definitely Rule 34 of Mary. Do you think anyone's jerked off to Mary?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
people love virgins.
Of course
yeah.
they would.
She's
In
pretty
fact,
hot.
you guys were joking
I
around
saw-
about
I
priests
saw
like
Mary.
Googling pictures of vaginas. I
I saw
guarantee there's some
Mary.
horny priests
Listen.
looking at pictures of
Listen.
Adam and Eve sitting there fucking
Listen.
covering up Adam's face.
Mary was
You know,
not.
like-
Mary was not. Mary was not a virgin.
I saw a picture.
Eve.
I saw a picture of Mary, and she had a bulge, and she was like sporting like a BDSM wear, and she had a bunch of demon nuns around her. It was really hot.
How do you see a
She was
picture
all
of
sweaty.
Mary? They're all like artist representations.
No, it's Rule 34. It's like artists that don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like, how do you know it's
Artistic
Mary? That could be
representation.
anybody.
Forgive me.
He had,
Oh, I thought you were doing pearl necklace or something. I don't know what this was.
Corey's like doing the fucking pray thing wrong. You have to put on your head too.
No, I'm not.
It's
He's
a
doing the
fucking.
pearl-
You look like you're trying to shave your neck.
Yeah, you look like you're trying to slit your throat. You look like you're threatening to slit off. Yeah, there you go. You're doing it right now. All right, but yeah. So basically, priests or potential popes all go into a house, fight to the death, and whoever wins, like smoke comes out of the chimney.
That's not what happens. What happens is a priest dies, and one of the priests comes out of the
No.
Yes!
So okay, so the pope dies. There's no pope for a few days. They all go into a house, right? Every night, black smoke comes out of the
That's
chimney.
not what
Until-
happened. They pull the priest out of the ground from the fucking.
He's trying to tell us what really happened.
That's not what happens. There's not black smoke and a priest rises out of it.
I want to hear Niall's Pope Club story.
Mine's way better. I had a frat house re-envisioning.
You were pulling up potato popes.
No, I
You
wasn't.
said that they were pulling them out of the ground by their ears.
Metaphorically, I didn't get a potato. Fuck, I was saying. I didn't get to finish what I was
Like
saying.
a fucking pope just buried in the
That was a
dirt.
metaphor. You pull him out of the ground of potential victimized people, and you save him. That's what I was saying. You didn't let me finish.
okay.
I didn't create my landscape of sinners.
I actually
All right.
like your potato story better.
With their
though.
Garden of Sinners. Now let Niall finish, guys.
Now stories is like a Kiss concert.
Okay.
Fuck that.
Wait, so the things that relate my stories to Kiss is just fuck them both. Fuck them. Fuck Niall stories and fuck Kiss concerts. Therefore, fuck your stories.
Black smoke rising out, playing his guitar
Niall,
with his tongue
finish your
sticking out.
story. So with your tongue hanging out like Gene Simmons. Go.
Asshole.
No, priests, they sit in the fucking house, right? Every single night, they have to decide who wants to be the next pope. You know how well they all want to be the fucking pope. They're all like,
Everyone wants to be the
yeah,
Pope.
but they all have to decide together.
Why would
They
you
get,
want to be the Pope? It's not like you're going to get pussy and...
they get kicked out of the house like Big Brother. It's like they vote each other
like
out of
a
the house.
reality
That's not what
show.
happens.
They sit on the chair and they're like, this Pope is really bothering me today because they like used all the ketchup and like left none for left for anyone else. So like they kick a
This
guy
is
out.
the real world Pope.
Yeah, they kick a guy out. They kick a guy out that night. Black smoke comes out of the chimney. All until they find.
The Pope isn't a 17-year-old girl who's fucking upset about a yellow Ferrari. Okay, it's not how popes are.
I know.
So wait, is the long story short that they keep whittling it down until there's one left?
And then when there's one left, it's white smoke, and they're
What's
like,
that?
new Pope has been appointed. Everyone.
Hold on, what's that show with like a girl who has to find her date? It's like a popular
The Bachelor.
show. Yeah, this is
The Bachelorette.
This isn't The Bachelorette, starring popes.
Wait, who's the bachelor in this scenario?
A pope.
No, but then who are the girls in this scenario?
A pope. You just fucking said, he uses up all the ketchup. So that pope's gone.
That Pope is fucking.
That was a
Ashton Kutcher chooses
metaphor.
a new pope.
So on a
I
more,
understand what you're saying.
on a more,
What is the ketchup?
That's punked.
on a more serious note, the
Sins.
Jesus. I was
Christian
talking
word.
with Stamper before in the car about this, and it's something that's always kind of confused me a little bit. Now, I have very religious friends, and I have no qualms with religious people until their beliefs start, imposing on my face.
Until somebody puts a fucking
Right.
finger in my face and tells me I'm wrong. I don't
Exactly.
give a fuck what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the one thing that always kind of got, like, I loved having religious debates with my friends, but there was one debate that I never got a straight answer about, and I was never satisfied with any of the answers they gave me, and I'm very open-minded. If there was an answer that logically made sense, and maybe there's a listener out there
Noah's
who
Ark.
can explain it in a logical way that doesn't end in because the Bible said so.
Noah's Ark.
Fuck you!
Am I right?
No.
I was close.
No. Oh, I see what you're saying. No.
That means that you're still concerned and you're still worried that there might be a God out there.
Maybe. Look, I'm not saying there isn't one. I have no reason
sure.
to believe there is one.
But continue.
Anyway, so this is it. It's really simple. The idea that Jesus was sacrificed for mankind. That idea bothers me a lot.
because
technically,
they skim over.
It's not a sacrifice. A sacrifice is when you give something up. They say that God sacrificed his son, right? And also, not to mention that he is also God at the same time. But you don't get to give something to people, kill it off, and then get it right back.
And expect it in return. Something in
No,
return.
but that's not a sacrifice. Look,
No.
if Jesus came down, died and went to hell or disappeared out of existence, that's a sacrifice. You lost something.
He got him right back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
God brought him down for what, 30 some odd years?
Yeah.
He dies and goes right back up for eternity.
Yeah, and
it's
he's
like, dude,
kicking
that's
in heaven,
fucking
Yeah, and he's fucking Jesus in heaven. He's got the palace up at the top of the hill in heaven.
So here we are. We're supposed to feel really terrible about this guy. Meanwhile, not mentioning all the other people who were crucified and also tortured in also
There's a
worse
lot
ways.
of fucking people that were
Absolutely worse
crucified
ways.
here, yeah.
Oh, there were a ton of people crucified. So not only that, but the idea that they're like, look, he would sacrifice his son for mankind.
If you extrapolate back a little bit, God knows all, right?
Okay.
So he knew he was going to make Jesus. He knew he was going to sacrifice his son. Like he made him. For
That's
the
not a
purpose-
sacrifice, by the way. That's a loan.
Yeah, he made him for the purpose of doing it. It's like he
loaned them to us for a little bit.
Yeah. He's like, look, I'm gonna give
ruined him. Like,
I'm gonna give this guy.
taking it
I'm
back,
gonna give you
man.
this guy. You can do
Trust
some
it.
pretty sweet magic trick for you cavemen because you don't really see much these days. So like basically like he's gonna come in, he's gonna make bread and wine and shit, and like then I'm gonna kill him off. Like why is that a sacrifice? Why did he die for my sins? He didn't do anything for me.
I just feel like
What did
Jesus
he
was
do?
like the first YouTube star. Like he just knew how to like touch
No,
people.
he was the
Like,
first he was the first scam artist because like
That's
Yeah,
what
he
I
was
mean.
the first snake oil
What
salesman.
the fuck do you think I mean?
So you're saying if YouTube existed
That's all
back
we
then,
do on YouTube is
He's the
sell
first
snake
he
oil.
fucking he
He was
had
doing a-
water.
he was the
He
first-
had water. He's like, watch when it turned into wine.
Yeah, but if YouTube existed
sneeze and
then,
get the water out and pour it like wine.
like
There you go.
years later, like 4 or 5 years after Jesus fucking died, there would be all these people, all these girls coming out talking about how Jesus fiddled them and shit like that, or you know, he did some sermon while he was en route to
like Jimmy Savile.
Yeah,
Or-
so-
wait,
or
wait,
no,
that's
Salt
British.
or what's his name?
Wait.
Fucking
You guys talked
whatever.
about this before. I always thought.
And then it's like that cyclical thing where it's like if Nile, it's like that. What's it called? Like purple monkey refrigerator thing where like you tell me something and I just keep building it up, and then like I've never met Jesus before, and then you're like, yeah, he did this, and I'm like, oh shit, and then I tell Corey, and I'm like, yeah, and then there's this blind guy, and then he put his hand on
Jesus
his
is pretty much
face
just like Sam Pepper. Like
talking
he
about
just went around
telephone,
going like, look
right?
at this
Yeah,
fucking
telephone,
shit.
yeah.
You get, he's pretty much like he's like getting girls' numbers with my fucking, you know, he's just going around like doing shit, and then it was like word of mouth kind of
Oh,
thing.
he's
just
Sam
like
peppering
YouTube.
people. He was pinching bottoms. He
Yeah,
got
he's pinching
crucified,
bottoms.
and he paid for it.
Pretty much, yeah. He fucking died.
That's kind of funny because Sam Pepper got crucified too. As well, he should have been.
He was God's son. He died for our sins. Sam Pepper died for
Well,
our
it's
sins.
like what you guys said.
Listen, I want to pinch asses too. All right.
Yeah, but don't go around pinching strangers' asses.
Jesus did.
Allegedly. That's alleged, in quotes. He may have.
All right. So Niall,
Yeah.
you were a Catholic. Corey, you were a blank. Mm-hmm. You were